It's Waiver Wire, Week 5. We have 10 fantasy editions to break down before waiver claims process on Wednesday. Presented by ErvinandM.com. With notable injuries to Lamar Jackson, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and Rick Pearsall. We'll go position by position from most viable to pure desperation from tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, quarterback, and DST. Don't skip unless you have a tiny PP and you want to lose week 5. Also, rankings Wednesday through Friday. Click the playlist for stats-driven weekly fantasy rankings. And we'll start it off with tight ends. And Hunter Henry still at 41% rostered, and he's the tight end 3 right now. Just saying. Okay, we talked about it last week. More likely, though, once again, you're looking at Brenton Strange at 30% rostered. Same story as last week. Besides week 2, he's got 9.9 fantasy points, 12 fantasy points, 10.5 fantasy points. I mean, that is super acceptable for your starting tight end. Once again, he went for 6 for 7 targets and 45 receiving yards. He is tight end 14 on the season. Not as impressive as Hunter Henry, but behind Travis Kelce and ahead of Sam Laporta, not bad. Let's look at the running backs. We talked about Ollie Gordon and Chris Rodriguez last week. This week, we have to talk about Woody Marks first. 19% rostered. I know. Houston is gross. They're struggling. But players in bad offenses can still generate fantasy points every week, even though in real life, their teams are sad. 17 carries, 69 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 4 receptions for 50 receiving yards and another receiving touchdown. Woody Marks. I mean, Nick Chubb only managed 47 yards on 13 carries. Do you smell that? It's a flippening. Maybe. I don't know. Get him on your team. Next, Kenneth Gainwell. I know. It's the Mandela effect. I don't like it either for no reason, but there's a lot to like. Normally you'd say, this guy just filled in and he'll be gone next week. But Gainwell had 134 total yards and 2 touchdowns. That's more than just filling in. Warren has been awesome, but how could the Steelers ignore uncorked talent like that? How could you? Look at your bench. Will you do worse if you swapped him for someone else? Probably not. Wide receivers is next, and with injuries to Malik Neighbors and CeeDee Lamb, we have to talk about Darius Slayton, 5%. I know, relax. He's had plenty of games last season where he popped off. Wan'Dale Robinson should stay in his role, and Slayton will have free reign over Neighbors' routes. The back half of his schedule is easier, but this is someone you know is going to be called upon all season because Malik Neighbors, he's not returning. So there's potential there. Jalen Tolbert. No CeeDee Lamb. Pickens leads with 11 targets. And who steps in as wide receiver 2? Jalen Tolbert. Look at this. Look at it. We don't know how long CeeDee's going to miss. Initially, I saw 2 to 4 weeks. Thus, no IR. In the meantime, though, the Cowboys are going to continue to play the kind of football we watched last night. Multiple score changes. Close, high-scoring, high-passing volume games. So this shouldn't be the last week we see Jalen Tolbert. 6 targets, 61 yards, and a clutch highlight toe tap. Overtime reception. Also, last call for Troy Franklin. He's at 59% on Sleeper. Tried to tell you last week, he's finally a full-time player with the Broncos. Nothing crazy, but there will be more in store for Franklin as we get deeper into the season. Quarterbacks is next. Jackson Dart, 11%. He's quarterback 9 on the week. Not bad. He had 20 pass attempts. That's more than Drake May and 2 less than Josh Allen. Only 111 passing yards in his first game, but a passing touchdown and 10 rushes for 54 yards and a rushing tutty. very Jalen Hurts-esque. He faces the Saints in week 5, so that's really good. That's one startable performance while he simmers down on the bench, maybe. That's a great performance. A lot to be happy about. Let's do the defensive streaming options and wrap it up. DST. Who do you want? Arizona Cardinals defense versus the Titans. 25% rostered. Arizona's 11th best on the season. They face the Titans and Cam Ward, who's been sacked 17 times. Thrown 2 interceptions. And he's lost 2 fumbles in 4 games. Titans don't generate points. Cardinals DST week 5. Great choice. Indianapolis Colts versus the Raiders. 29% rostered. They're 7th best for fantasy on the season, and they get a sweet matchup against Geno and the Raiders, who've passed out 7 interceptions and 12 sacks thus far. They're at home. They opened as 7-point favorites. And the Giants. Can you imagine? Look at this. Just look at it. 3% rostered. Giants have been less impressive as the Cardinals defense, but they get the same treatment this week because of their opponent. Giants take on the Saints, and they only generate 16 points per game. So I wonder if Brian Burns, Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, and Sexy Dexy can get after Spencer Rattler this week. I wonder. That's it. Subscribe, turn on post notifications so you stay prepared for Sunday. Rankings, other videos, all week. Visit my store and watch some more videos.